Anri Terry Erin Girl, or Anri Chen, however you want to call her, a calm but very determined young woman whose biggest dream is to see Japan win the World Cup. Anri is passionate when it comes to football, and although the majority in the Japan Football Association really code her and treat her as nothing but a woman with big dreams and a big chest, she sticks to her goals and visions while generally polite and professional. She speaks her mind, especially in regards to her dreams of winning the World Cup, and is unaffected by the business-minded Japanese Football Association ideologies. Her first name Anri means no meaning, special meaning, similar to how they treat her. Everyone basically treats her in the JFU or JFA office. And then Teirei means Emperor's Collar. So basically she's being used as a tool right now to a king, which is probably Bashitara. Phonetically, her name is similar to Teirei Anri, which has the same meaning for the katakana Hanri. Now, it's funny because she's not good at cooking, and I'll talk about why that matters later. In her first popularity poll, she got 692 votes, and her Japanese voice actress is the same as Isagi Yoichi when he was a kid. Now that we have that, now her schedule in the manga shows that at 5:30 she wakes up, checks her emails, and does morning yoga. Very active. At 6:30 she wakes up Ego-san. Oh, that must be a hustle. And then cleans up his room. Bro, Ego, clean up your damn room, bro. At 7:30 she has her own breakfast. It is not said what she has for breakfast, but she has to boil water for him since all he has is cup noodles or instant yakisoba. And then at 9 o'clock she checks the data on the player's physical condition. Aww, that's nice because Ego terrorizes these kids day in day out, so it's nice that someone's checking in on them. And then she meets up with Ego-san as well. And yeah, he basically tells her to piss off and complains and always wins. If she tries to argue, she just takes it because she knows Ego's gonna not lose that war. And even with in class and stuff, I like to just tank the arguments even if I have something to say. At 10 a.m. in the morning, she checks on the progress of the selections. So whether it be first, second, or third selection, she always be checking. At 10:30, she updates player data, which is a lot of hard work because at first there's 300 players, and then finally at the first selection it goes down to 35. So hopefully her life is being a bit more easier. At 12:30 she has her lunch, and don't forget to boil the water because Ego only has yakisoba or cup noodles. At 1:30 p.m. she has soccer study time, so she basically gotta read up on the tactics and mental training and learn more about soccer. At 1:30 she has snack time, which is gummies or chocolate depending on how she feels. At 3 p.m. she checks on the progress of the selection. At 3:30, literally 30 minutes after, she has a meeting with Ego-san, and he mainly just complains, but sometimes he says really intense stuff, so she doesn't try to miss any of it, so she'll be note-taking for sure. At 6 p.m. she writes a report for the JFA progress report and expenditure report, which is money and the players, because they also be using money on some of the funds, they talked about how they used money on the goalkeeper system. So yeah, all that. Then she checks on the player's physical condition again. Oh, she's really so nice, And then at 8:30 she finally gets off of work, takes off her makeup, gets in those comfy clothes, gets Nagi style, and gets ready for bed. But she has 9 p.m. dinner, and don't forget to boil the damn water because Ingo Jinpachi needs that damn water. And she just chills in her private room after. Now let's actually get to talk about what she does in the manga. In the first chapter of the manga, it talks about how she is a representative of the JFA team, and she's talking about how they must devise a plan to come back even stronger for the next World Cup. And the chairman doesn't give a damn. He says we're making money, so that's it. And then soccer is just a business. We'll just hire some pretty looking good Japanese coach, and if he doesn't work out, just fire him. And yeah, that's basically it for them. And he says, basically, what if your proposed reform ends up hurting our profits? Some people may appeal against you. And they're basically trash talking her ideals right now. And he said something like may appeal, which is similar to Maya Yoshida, a famous Japanese soccer player, and everyone's just laughing it off. And then Anri just basically talks about, however, allow me to state this clearly. At this rate, Japanese soccer is in danger of never winning the World Cup. And then Bashitara, whatever his fat ass name is, talks about, do you really believe you can win the World Cup? And he says, of course you damn Tanuki, that's my dream. She's really standing up for herself, and I really love this. Because I'm born on Women's Day, so I really like to see the dominance of women grow, because women's impact on sports and the world is growing daily but daily. So she talks about we can win, play our own type of match, but Japanese passing style soccer system can be effective internationally. It's because we keep saying things like that we never make it past the round of 16. And then Bushita's like, do you have some kind of plan? And she's like, of course I do, damn it. She talks about bringing in Igo Jinpachi, a player who can lead this country to a World Cup victory. And then Jinpachi is shown later on giving a speech about how he's going to do it. And then Igo gives the point about 299 lives being ruined and one striker being born, which god damn, yeah, that's crazy. Then later we see Anri have to go to Aomori's school, or whatever school Rayo and the rest. I think it was Haku, whatever. But she basically goes there saying that she went to go do research on Aomori Dada's team, but in the opposing team she found an extraordinary pair who, one had the dexterity to go above the average in every role, Mikage Rayo, and one with superhuman trapping ability and incredible shot, Nagi Seishiro. And later she is shown taking everyone's phones and giving them the Blue Lock jerseys with the numbers on it, with Isagi and Nagi. Nagi must have had a tough time having to hand over that phone for sure. Then she talks about how quite a high level game that was from Nagi, Mikage Ryo, and Sugiri Santetsu. Something she didn't really talk about for her Team Z, which means that Team B's game must have been more intense, which is crazy. And then when they're on an interview the day when Sei's supposed to be heading back for Spain, they're talking about, do you really have the resources to make Blue Lock successful? And Anri's like, their lives would be wasted. Damn right, this insane project is necessary for Japanese soccer to advance to the next level. And Sei gets caught off guard. Sei is intrigued. And then she's like, don't you want to see the birth of a new striker? And then she's like, do you have the courage to dream of winning the World Cup? Are you ready for battle? And then even Sei Toshi's intrigued by the words of Anri Teirei, saying that I'll see for myself what kind of forward this country can produce. And in the Blue Lock volume cover, like when you see the characters' introductions, you can see that Anri's like the only female member on the board. I do not know if this means she was the only ever to make it to the board, or if it's just currently right now. But that is a big feat, and if she ever becomes president, she needs to bring more level-headed women to the business, because women are taking over, you know? Women need to take over that corporate industry, because we've talked about it in my classes in school before, that there's always some corporate ceiling for women that needs to be broken. And I like to see stuff like this. I'm really impressed by Anri. And before she gives in the report at 6 p.m., which I talked about earlier, she be doing this man's damn laundry. That is crazy. We did get a nice panel of the you know what I mean. Anyway, Ego don't be doing anything. He don't even clean the damn noodles. It's crazy. So she really is his errand girl if she's really going to every high school checking on players and all that. She must be working overtime. It's crazy. And then Anri, she's very fun for me, because as a reader, I feel like a fan and I don't know everything. And when Eagle's speaking, I'm like Anri. I'm trying to learn and I get caught off guard. Like when I saw Nagi's goal, I was caught off guard and I was hype, but I didn't think about the aftermath until Eagle started speaking. And Anri didn't think about it too after Eagle started speaking. So Anri is kind of like the viewers who get hyped up by situations, who aren't as level-headed thinkers like Ego-san himself. So I'm very happy that we get a character like her in the story. And what else can I talk about with her? I love when she referenced that awakening like a Super Saiyan. That was crazy, bro. And then Anri is talking about that Sorry, Ego's talking about awakening isn't some supernatural phenomenon or acquiring a new ability. Something that unrealistic just doesn't happen. And he's talking about calling her a busty dummy, and she's like, my chest has nothing to do with this. Bro, they're trading shots and I love it. And here's what I talked about the expenditure. If you don't know, that is finances. So basically, they're talking about how to make that possible, we inserted microsensors into the ball, which create realistic physical repulsion in the response to holograms touch. It's all stats of the art holographic sports technology. Basically, they kind of depleted their budget on these goalkeepers, taking all their world-class goalkeepers' knowledge and abilities into these Blue Lock goalkeepers. And yeah, she's either really smart or she's going all out on this. Like, she must be really she must be a really good marketing or finance teacher for sure in the future. If this doesn't work out for her, finances could be her next thing. But we know Isagi's plot armor would make sure this works out. So they talk about a solitary environment that tests their ability to turn 0 into 1. It seems his stance towards soccer has changed. Seiichiro Nagi. This line is the only time Anri and Jinpachi Ego agree on something, as Ego says, yeah, things are getting interesting. Looks like the prodigy has awakened his ego. Nagi's ego awakening for beating Isagi was so crazy that Anri and Ego agreed on something. That is crazy. Now, during the second selection, we get them talking about what the second selection is, and they're saying, so basically this is how we're handling the second selection right now at the present. Each individual will polish their teamwork abilities and deepen their personal awareness and understanding of others. The players will apply their various mindsets to build teams and compete with each other. Then if you watch Blue Lock Additional Time, we see that Anri, after she has end of work, she's thinking about Ego, as she sees that he always eats unhealthy noodles all the time. So she tries to make vegetables for her, as I think it's stir-fried veggies and broccoli salad. Ego is a menace. Bro puts like mayo sauce and all the unhealthy stuff in it, mayo and spices, just to make it unhealthy. And he's like, I guess this stuff is nice now and then, it's yummy. And then she has her ego aura. It's very funny. It's a very funny scene to see. And then we don't really see much of her, or we do, but it's basically just her being dumbfounded by Ego's words as Ego's explaining to her and she's just learning. And we see that one of my favorite moments was the plays that they practice in the training camp aren't working out. Are they going to be okay, Ego-san? It didn't expect any better. Well, practice is just practice, Anri-chan. When you're practicing, all you're doing is demonstrating your technical skills and in a no-stress environment. This is this is what I mean by Anri is always dumbfounded by Ego, as Anri is very inexperienced and Ego is like the GOAT, so he knows all this. There's a lot of times this happens, but I just wanted to explain like the most impactful one, because the U22 game is just the goated game of Blue Lock. And this panel I'm looking at right here of Isagi and Bachua's mom, the dad, peakness, bro. Anri and these characters basically represented one of my favorite panels, as it had all the emotions I had of the U20 game. Shock, ballisticness, crying, eyes are gone, and Chio's face of it's finally over. Greatness has ended. What a panel. I think this is one of my top 5 favorite panels in the Blue Lock industry. And my goated Anri gives them praise and allows Toya to get the line. Anri tries to cry, baby. Anri tries to cry, baby. Anri tries to cry, baby. Bro, the slander on Anri was crazy, because Anri is an emotional person. So she also says that food is on me. Not food is on me, but basically the whole menu is on me. Seriously, you couldn't get these guys hamburgers and whatever Bachua and Shigiri were talking about. Like, come on. They could have eaten that for sure. But basically, we don't see her in the whole chill filler arc, or whatever you want to call those days off. We don't see her in the FC Barca versus Bayern München arc. We only see her after, when during the Manchester City match. And during this match, it's also been revealed that Blue Lock TV during the FC Barca match versus Bayern München game is like a subscription to the world for them to it's a super entertainment for the whole world to enjoy. So they're talking about Nagi's goal, and this is what I mean, that she is just like the viewers, as she talks about, if that goal had gone in, Yukimiya would have scored a super goal, beating 6 defenders like that. But Chris Prince is someone not to be underestimated. This intense. But the main line was, are you talking about Nagi's Cullen's goal dangerous? What are you talking about? That goal was amazing. His goal is already blowing up on social media. Nagi says she was the best player in the world, and that goal is already the best goal of the century. And Ego sounds like, really, all I felt was from it was a sense of foreboding. Wait, what do you mean? A goal is a goal. And that is so similar to what Nagi said to Byro. That is crazy, bro. And then she's like, isn't Blue Lock a place to create the world's #1 striker? So what's wrong? It's impossible for him to replicate that goal ever again, because of the fact that goal he created had no goal formula. It was just him going too far for himself. And then she's like, but isn't he a striker? Isn't that a part of the striker's job description? Then she's like, equals like confidence and delusion are two completely different things, Anri. What that idiot did just now, simply play out a deluded fantasy with him as the superhero. No matter how much you want it, if it doesn't make sense, sometimes it doesn't have to make complete sense, but if it's completely illogical, it won't happen. And I, as a Nagi Glazer at the time, because before he told She Saves You 20 match, he was my favorite character. And when I was reading this match, I was completely glazing this goal until I saw it, and it made total sense. We thought Nagi's goal was a good thing, but it was actually a bad thing. And Anri is a piece of the audience to connect to us. I mean, they use social media to make us feel like we're in the manga by reacting to this stuff, but Anri is the closest figure, I would say, to us as audience, because some of us, like, we get very hype at the moment and start glazing characters, especially when they score super goals, whether it was good or not. So this was one of the moments I enjoyed out of her. Sorry this is a long video, but like, I just want to go over every Anri point as an appreciation for her, as at the end I'll talk to you about Rai. And we get to Bua Tashuda, the chairman, and he's basically having a bunch of Blue Lock merch and saying how Blue Lock's TV has been simply amazing, as they're going through a lot of money and their rankings are going through the roof. And then we get that funny panel of Anri talking about how the Blue Lock Kuma's really cute. And then Ego just slaps it all away, saying that if you is that all you're here for? If so, please leave, we're busy here. As Ego doesn't give a damn about this. And Buatsata, or whatever his name is, drops the scary line. Now don't be like that. The JFU invested a lot into the Blue Lock TV as well. I don't have to remind you of the promise you made when I approved Blue Lock TV. Now do I, Ego-chan? And this is the scary part, because there is one thing I have to talk about. Anri is the one who founded Ego. So we do not know if this rule will only affect Ego's power over Blue Lock or Anri's power over Blue Lock. Now there's a woman, well, the only woman Blue Lock I know, Serena Rosa, who talks about this evilness of what could be going down around here. And I'll leave I don't know if I'll leave a link, but I have a screenshot of it somewhere on the video, because I'm too lazy to leave links. Anyway, but yeah, it talks about the fact that there is more to this than meets the eye, and Ego could be losing power. And the fact that Free Uber's players didn't play in the whole NEL match, I mean all the NEL matches for Ubers from the Blue Lockers, shows that Ego isn't in complete control anymore. And as the founder of Blue Lock, and the one who even let Ego do his things, because she is a part of the board. We do not know if she loses power or if it's just ego. And if it's both of them, they're in big trouble, because I would love to see an arc where Anri has to save Blue Lock from this terrible evil chairman group, because they're trying to turn Blue Lock into something which it was not originally supposed to be. The bids are so rigged, everything is so rigged right now that I feel like Anri has to step up and fight this system. And that was also the last panel we see, as they say then it's fine, after all football is a business, and then it goes off to Ubers versus Bastard München. And then even after that game, when right before the PXG versus Bastard game, we see the Tanuki guy talking about how Blue Lock has the most ratings around the world right now, and that's why regarding the upcoming U20 World Cup, I, Hirotoshi Boratsuta, humbly ask that you consider my ideas. Well, what do you think? Please check out the ratings, they are off the charts. It has over 100 million subscribers. It's one of the hottest things in the market. And then please, Mr. FIFA President. And then he says, if it increases our revenue, then we will consider it. Now, we don't know what ideas this is, but I think it's about them hosting the World Cup, the U20 World Cup, and bringing Hitoshi Sei. Those are two of my theories I have on it. But now that I've talked about Anri's journey throughout Blue Lock, sorry if you guys found this to be a waste of time. I'm so sorry. I'll never do this format again. I just wanted to go over the whole story of Anri, Teirei, and Blue Lock, because she is one of the sideline characters that does not get enough recognition and the most important woman figure in Blue Lock history. So I felt this video was very necessary to end off Women's Month. But basically, she could be the savior of Blue Lock. She is the reason Blue Lock happened in the first place, as this is her dream. And she was the reason why Ego Jinpachi was given power, because they wouldn't just allow Ego Jinpachi to come in if they didn't trust anyone. And the fact that if this fails, they're gonna extremely remove her from the board instantly, as they don't forgive failure. That's what they said during the second or third selection for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough run for Anri to pull off if she's gonna save Blue Lock from the terrorism that is coming onto it. I do not know how this arc, Anri, Ego, and Hirotoshi with the FIFA President arc is gonna go, but yeah, she's done a lot, from carrying Ego, doing his laundry, making sure he has food to eat, checking on this player's conditions, watching Rayo and Nagi's first match, because if she had missed that one match, Nagi and Rayo would have not made it to Blue Lock. She has done revision and studying over the players, always updating their stats. She does a lot in 24 hours. So Anri, this is my appreciation video to you, and may you have the best success. I hope you become the head of the board of the JFA after the U20 World Cup. I hope the best for your character, and I hope your character gets more recognition and has a storyline leading into it, because I would love to see a sideline storyline like this really grow into fruit. Anyway, this is Fofo Tsukiyomi, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video format. If you guys would like to know like a full story video about any other character, like say Toshi, Ego Jinpachi, Hirotoshi, or any sideline characters or any characters at all, let me know down in the description. Also check out my video that came out today about Nagi, because Ego hates him the most, and it's Ego's birthday today as well. Happy birthday, Ego. And also check out the video I did yesterday about Sticklock. I really want my boy to get the recognition he deserves. Ritter Z, he is currently in school doing exams, so he is not able to upload right now. He's almost at the second selection, so I got a lot of reading to do. Peace out.